and even the CBD, most of those places have sufficient water, and most of the customers are able to receive water 24/7. I would say Kampala as a whole, Greater Kampala as a whole, almost 95% of our customers are receiving water 24/7. Now the areas that are stretched right now, we have an arrangement. In the short term, as we do the other project, we're trying to ration, so that at least we make sure that everyone is able to get to water, though they may not get it constantly, but at their specific days and times that we've communicated to them when they're expecting to get that water.
So the project is going to run for 2 good years?
Yeah, 2 good years.
So now when you talk about rationing, that means you give them either water during the day or during the night or specific days?
Yes.
Now, how do people get to have this information? Because I earlier said I want to commend the public relations team of National Water. They give messages. But unfortunately, I don't understand to be corrected. Those messages come to numbers that pay the bills. Now, you will find that the tenants and the general public, most of the people in the urban centers, most are in rentals. Now, my landlord gets the message that prepare Thursday due to maintenance work going on. You know how we are drafted, very sweet and encouraging. Maintenance work, we apologize for inconvenience, but you on such and such a day, you won't have water. Now, the person getting is staying in Sebuku where water is doing very okay. I'm staying in Nansana. So how do we do this better?
We have tried to, we appreciate that you can't only have one platform. We have tried to utilize a number of platforms to communicate to our customers. I'll first touch the issue raised. How do you take care of tenants and it in our system that we only have numbers for landlords? Actually, we've designed our system in such a way that it captures both the number of the landlord and also the number of the tenant. So as a tenant, you are a customer in a way. So we're able to send you information if you have your number registered. So again, I would want to encourage and request every person, even if you're a tenant, just have your number registered, and then you should be able to receive these messages. But on top of that, we don't also only rely on messages we send out to the individuals. We're also trying to use all available platforms, and this is one of them. But also we're trying to utilize the social media platform to engage. But also for those places that had hit, we are having barazas where we're working with the leadership from the OC1. We're able to mobilize the community, and we're having specific engagements that basically are tailored to the challenges they're facing in that community, and also some of the solutions we're undertaking. Yesterday we had a very interesting engagement in Matuga, in Kawanda particularly, where we're able to engage the leadership and the community, and we're able to address some of the issues they're having, but also through that platform we're able to communicate to them the schedules that have been designed. So we recognize that you can't just have one platform. You need a number of platforms to reach out to our customers.
Now, there is also work happening at Gaba water plant. You are seeing pipe upgrade, and this, let's know how it's affecting the people in the city. And after this all impact of the upgrade happening, what should we expect?
The works taking place at Gaba was very, very necessary and critical. We had some of those pumps that had served for quite some time, so it meant that they were no longer as efficient as they're supposed to be. Like I mentioned earlier, the last 2 months, we've been operating that plant almost at 80% capacity. So it means that it has been affecting our ability to reach out to most of our customers. With the upgrades and the replacements we were making, basically it's as good as renewing the plant there. So we have put new, more powerful, and more efficient pumps in Gaba, and that would mean that even some of those places that were rationing, we might find that with the new pumps we might even reduce on the period of rationing. So the works in Gaba are coming as a very good relief to us and to our customers, and we should be very hopeful that once we finish the replacement, we'll have a more stable network and system.
Very interesting. So maybe how long will this take?
No, the replacements in Gaba, We are sure by end of next month, we should have, like I said, already we have done 2, and just replacing those 2, a lot of significant improvement has been realized already. We're getting another 2 pumps towards the end of this month, and again by next month they should be replaced. And once all that is done, then most of the areas that have been having challenges in the last 2-3 months, we should see that those problems conclusively resolved.
Now, to our viewer, you can be part of the topic of discussion this morning by simply sending us a WhatsApp message or a text message on 0709 60 25 92. 0709 60 25 92. Kindly send me a WhatsApp message or a text message on the topic of discussion this morning. With me, I have the General Manager, Kampala Water, Engineer Mahmoud Lutaya, and we are looking at how this heat wave has affected water supply. I don't know where you are watching, but at least I'm very sure you're feeling the heat wave. I'm very sure you're consuming more water in terms of drinking, in terms of bathing, and not to forget that water is life. There is that common saying. So when the temperatures are very high, still you need to ensure you use more water. And demand and supply, of course, the simple economics there comes in very well. Now, Mr. Engineer, let's also look at another issue of concern. You said the good thing, Lake Victoria, the water table has not had issues.
Yeah.
But in this period as well, many people are yearning for more connections. Just brief on that, because I have a message here. Before even we continue, I don't want to forget this person who has sent it. He said, give us a small hint on how far we've gone with connections.
On the side of connection, our connection process is not at any one time affected by what we're going through. Like I mentioned, our biggest country is not that we don't have the water, we have enough water that will allow us meet the demand. So the process, those who have applied, will continue to connect them as and when they apply, and we always give a timeline. Once you pay, because there's a point you apply, we survey, we invoice you, you pay. Some people, when we invoice them, they take some time to pay. But after payment, we always guarantee our customers within 2 weeks we should be able to connect you. So that process is taking, is still proceeding, and we have particular emphasis to make sure that we minimize the period it takes for our customers to be connected. But also, we are mindful that there are some places we have challenges with supply, and there are places we might not be able right now, with the constraints we have with the infrastructure, to extend services to. So we may not be able to make new extensions to places we know are already water stressed. So we are also being mindful of that, so that we don't give you a connection and then you realize you don't have what? Water. So, but those are very few places, and they are basically in areas I mentioned earlier that we hope we'll be able to deal with once this project is done. But for the bigger part of Kampala, where water is sufficient, the process is continuing smoothly, and there shouldn't be any issue. Any customer has an issue, then we're able to engage them and deal with it as soon as possible.
Now, can we take it that once these are finished, any future heat wave, we are safe and no need to panic?
Like I mentioned, the corporation is very intentional to build resilience. We are aware that of recent, there are places you go to, I think not so many months ago, we had challenges of floods. So today you have floods, tomorrow you have what? The heat wave. So we're trying to build resilience so that when such situations come, extreme weather conditions come to us, our infrastructure is robust enough to deal with that. So for the case of Kampala, we built resilience, whether we have the rise in water levels in Gaba, or we have cases of the extreme weather conditions in terms of heat like we're experiencing right now. Our system and our teams have enough capacity to deal with any situation that could come. Definitely there will always be challenges like we're experiencing, but the most important thing is that the capacity exists, and we are set to deal with anything that is thrown at us.
Set to deal with anything that is thrown at Then also at this particular time when we are experiencing a heat wave. The number for you to be part of the topic of discussion is 0709 60 25 92. Please kindly make the messages a bit short. Yes, we may not have time to go through so many paragraphs, but if you kindly make it short, then I'll find it very easy for me to read out, and of course for my guest to get it better. Now, I wanted us to stick to the heat wave. If it is possible, please, our viewer, because we have a topic of discussion. There's not a number of issues are rising up here, but not so much connected to the topic of the day. So in case I don't read your message, maybe it doesn't rhyme so well with the topic, and we don't want to divert so much away from the topic, which is the heat wave and how it is affecting service delivery through National Water and Sewerage Corporation. And with me, I have the General Manager, Kampala Water, Engineer Mahmoud Lutaya. Now, one says, good morning, Robert. Thank you for the show. My question is, how safe is the water we are taking at such a time with old pipes? Some assumably even could have rusted. Coupled with the heat, how safe is the water? Engineer, how safe is the water?
The water that we supply to our customers, be it during the heat wave or during other times, is safe, is treated, we test it. We have a system, a water quality team, that makes sure that whatever we send out to our customers is tested on a daily basis. So I can guarantee our customers that water we send to you is very safe, 100%. Safe and meets the national and international standards when it comes to safe drinking water. But what we always advise our customers to do when it comes to drinking, especially in their homes, we always advise them to cook, to boil the water, because most of us have put in place overhead tanks for storage. And you realize that you might not be 100% in control, because some of them have, they rarely clean them, but also even the plumbing system within your house. Like he has mentioned, some of the homes are also old, and you find that they still have very rusty and old plumbing system. But on the side of National Town, we basically renew our network. So we have, the pipes that are old are always what? Replaced. But most importantly, all the water we supply to customer is tested and is safe and meets national and international standards for safe drinking water.
Now, good morning, Uganda. The Katosi and Gaba branch may not be able to supply water in the near future. National Water and Sewerage Corporation should look for more options. Meanwhile, I appeal to the corporation to reduce on the tariffs, since the consumption is too high during the heat wave. Emma Wangolo, water analyst, Inspire Africa Forum, Uganda.
Yes, when I mentioned resilience, it also meant that we put in place the infrastructure that can guarantee that we have capacity to produce the water that is needed. We had a master plan for Greater Kampala that looked at the almost up to 2040. What infrastructure do we need to make sure that we're able to meet the demand for Greater Kampala? Katosi and Gaba are some of the plans we have, but already Katosi has a capacity to do, is designed for 240 million liters per day. Right now, we can produce 160. So already we have an option of adding another 80. And already other plants are being designed to be developed. We have another plant which we're calling Wakiso West, which is also in the pipeline. So as a corporation, we have a clear projection of the demand that we're expected to serve, but most importantly also put in place the systems that are supposed to meet that demand. Yeah. There on the tariff, yes, because of the heat wave,
because you are
using more.
Yes.
But also that means that also for you to provide that more, you need, I think the whole idea where customers need to pay is that they're paying for inputs that are required to make sure that water is supplied to the customers. So the more we supply means that the more we need to spend to have more water deliver to our customers. So what they're paying for is the cost for production. So so it may not be possible to reduce the tariff because customers are using more, because then at the end of the day you may not be able to meet the demand when you don't have sufficient resources to do that.
Now that explains the tariff issue. Please kindly keep the messages short. The number is 0709 60 25 92. Looking at water supply amidst the heat wave, how is National Water and Sewage Corporation doing it? What are your experiences, and maybe how best can we improve this? Now, Namu Yanja Flavia says, thank you for the show. My question is, why should we pay for, but this has been answered, why you should pay for water? It is a God-given good. Yes, God-given, but engineers just talked about that, so let me go to another message, unless he wants to add something to your concern. The other one says, thank you so much. My question is, first, I want to thank Kampala Water, but now this one talks about rude staff that come and knock our homes. Don't we have alternatives to them? Engineer, that you answer. But please let's stick to the topic of the day. Good morning and thanks for the program. Thanks, Engineer, for being in studios to explain these issues. My concern is meter taking. That is one area I want him to comment on. Why do they take our meters and start to get them back?
About the issue of price, but probably again there is one issue that all of us need to know. Why should people pay for water?
You said you get from the Victoria.
And I think for those who have been privileged to see the water from Lake Victoria in the state in which it is, you get to appreciate what is needed to get it from that state to the state in which you receive it. So what we basically do, and what customers at the end of the day are paying for, is the inputs that are required to treat that water. We get it from the lake, we have to pump it. National Water is one of the biggest consumers for, or customers for Umeme. In Kampala alone, we are paying close to 5 billion every month for power costs.
5 billion?
5 billion. So someone has to pay for that. We pay almost close to 2 billion in terms of chemical costs. So someone has to pay for that. And then plus all the other inputs that are required to make sure that water is clean and reaches our customers, plus the staff that come to make sure that everything is okay, to repair in case there are any leaks and burst. All those are costs. So what customers are basically paying for is the input costs that are required to make sure that water is safely delivered to your home. The other question was to do with the road staff, and I want to appreciate our customers, especially when they give us feedback like this, and I want to request our customers, we are 100% accountable to them. Our motto is customer is king. We're 100% a customer-centric utility. We put our customer first before anything. Where we had cases of our staff being rude to customers, we don't tolerate it. And I'm going to request any customer who has that kind of experience to report it to us. They're always going to have a few black sheep, you know, in a community. So I would request and encourage our customers to report such cases, and then we should be able to deal with those stuff. The other question was to do with the meters. I think some customers have experienced cases where our staff come and pick the meters, and I want to clarify on that. There's a reason why we want or we should come and remove those meters. Meters are like any mechanical equipment. They are bound to lose efficiency. They need to be serviced once in a while. So sometimes they come and pick those meters for purposes of having them serviced. But the way we do it, it should be with the notice of the of the customer. We always call the customer, we notify them when we're going to pick the meter and for what reason. And we're supposed to make sure that once you pick your meter, it should not affect your service at all. So when you pick today, we make sure that that very day we're supposed to return it so that it doesn't affect your service in any way. So again, customers need to know the process. So in any case where our staff has acted otherwise, then you should also be able to give us feedback on such cases, and we're able to deal with them. The other customer, I think, was asking why does water go off and then comes back at night.
When least needed.
When least needed. I want to believe water is needed anytime it comes. So depending on maybe what you're using it for. But that shouldn't be the case. Ideally, we should have water supplied to you 24/7. But like I explained earlier, there are places right now, almost 95% of our service area is able to receive water 24/7. It comes during the day and also during the night. But there are places, like I mentioned earlier, that because of infrastructure constraints, we're not able to deliver water 24/7. And we have a rationing schedule that allows them to know when water is coming. There are places we're able to deliver water in the evening, and we're also able to deliver water during the day. But such places we've communicated to the customers and they're aware, and we're working towards a solution. Like I mentioned, the long-term solution that will resolve all those cases where everyone in Greater Kampala will have water 24/7 is the project that we've started, that is trying to make sure that we evacuate. We have enough water in terms of production. Most of the water right now, the plant in Katosi, we're utilizing it at almost 50% capacity. So once this project is complete, we'll be able to get all the water that we have now, right now in Namugongo. We're going to put a booster in Kungu and put up a big reservoir, which is around 15 million liters in Kanyanya. Now from Kanyanya, we'll be able to move to Matuga, we connect it to Kabulengwa, and then we serve the areas of Nasana, areas of Wakiso. All these areas are right now are having this whole idea of rationing. So once that project is done, then we will say rationing will be completely history in Kampala.
Very interesting information there, and of course, hope that really we shall be having water almost in every part of Kampala. Now, allow me to go for a very, very short break. When I return, I'll be reading more of your messages, and of course, Engineer Mahmoud Lutaya, General Manager, Kampala Water, will be responding to your concerns. But I kindly request also, please let's continue sticking to the topic of the day, which is water supply amidst the heat wave. We'll return shortly.
International Women's Day is celebrated annually on 8th March. It is a time to reflect on progress made, to call for change, and to celebrate acts of courage and determination play by women. On Saturday, 8th March, Uganda will join the rest of the world to commemorate International Women's Day. The national celebrations will be held in Changwanzi district under the theme Accelerate Action for Gender Equality. The President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, will be the chief guest. Join us for the live broadcast to witness outstanding women receive medals in recognition of their achievements and contributions to the country. Happy Women's Day.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
And with me is Engineer Mahmoud Lutaya, General Manager, Kampala Water. We are looking at water supply amidst the heat wave, and this is what we've been focusing on. But in case you've just joined, well, feel free to be part of the topic of discussion by simply using our WhatsApp number 0709602592. But equally, you can also send us a text message, and I'll be reading that out as long as it is in line with the topic of discussion. Now, a little diversion from the topic, and many messages that have been coming in, goes to issues of steel. have adopted a way of getting what should be paid for free of charge. And these two services, I sometimes pity the companies. When it comes to power, we have very many good Ugandans that are very good to the extent that what they should be paying for, they find out of connecting and they get free electricity. That also happens when it comes to water. Many Ugandans, you may wonder how they manage their water bills. Only to discover a person will tell you either they played with the meter or they made some illegal connection. And I'm told this may affect me, the genuine customer of national water who pays in time. Let's also handle this briefly.
I think you raised a very, very important issue, and which all of us need to understand. Whom do we affect when we steal? I think we need to understand, because sometimes we steal and we are happy because we think we are affecting another person. But there's a big cost to people stealing water, and that cost is to you, that cost is to me, that cost is to your grandchildren at the end of the day. And once we realize the cost of stealing, that is a very big cost to all of us, then that's why you can join hands and fight stealing. Now, National is able to do most of the things we're doing, and I think a number of stakeholders have acknowledged the good efforts the corporation is doing. We're able to do that because we have the means to do the things we're able to do. We have the means to supply you with water. The day we fail to get those means, it means that even you won't get the water. Even your grandkids that will come will have issues. And that's the biggest cost we're talking about. The water that, and we talked about payment before, when you pay for the service, what you're paying for is helping us make sure that we sustain the service. But also, it helps us improve the infrastructure. Now, the challenges we're facing right now, we can't deal with them if we don't have what? Capacity and resources to do that. And yet, our experience has been that the people are stealing are not the people who don't have. In most cases, the people are stealing are the people who are well off. That's the unfortunate thing. And that's why we've tried to mobilize and work together with different stakeholders, especially the security agencies, including EPDF and police, to try to deal with this issue of people stealing. And we've always emphasized to our customers, when we look at our tariff structure, water is not supposed to be for free, like we said, but also water is affordable. Because we're giving, like a person like you, when you get water in your home, a 20-liter jerrycan, we're able to give it to you at 100 shillings, in principle. But on top of that, we've tried to recognize that...
That is the domestic tariff?
Yeah, domestic tariff. We've also tried to recognize that not everyone might not be able to afford or bring water into their homes, especially the disadvantaged, people in informal settlements. And they put up a special tariff for them, where they're able to get a jerrycan for 25 shillings. So we're doing all that to make sure that water is affordable, so that everyone is able to pay for it. Now, when we start stealing it, that means that it becomes what? Expensive for everyone. So the cost of stealing is high, and the cost of stealing is to everyone. And one are not stealing. Because when you start stealing, you cease to be a what? Customer. You become a totally different thing. So I want to appeal to our customers to work with us and the communities. We fight this vice of people stealing water, because that stealing is affecting all of us, and it's a cost to all of us.
Now, a very interesting message for you, engineer, here. It says, good morning, Uganda. Thank you so much for the topic of discussion. Now, please tell Engineer Mohammed, in case he didn't know, that an ordinary Ugandan finds it hard to steal water set up from a pipe. These are his people who engage us and make the connections. Then after, you turn against us and come arrest us, even wanting to take us to court. First, clean your house.
That
I'm not Ugandan. I may not know where to tap from, how to connect these things, but your people.
But I don't know Uganda, I think they always say takes two to what?
To tango.
And what we want is to empower customers that say no to anyone, because at the end of the day, for those that have connived with our staff and illegally connected to our service, we just want to say that there's a very big cost. The corporation is very clear that we don't condone anyone, even any of our staff, to get involved in such acts of conniving with customers and engaging in illegal connections. We acknowledge that we could have a few bad elements within our staff, and that's why we want to use the public, that we join hands and fight this. So as a corporation, we have that level of commitment that we want us to work with you. If you have any of our staff involved in such a case and comes to you, we kindly request you approach us. We're going to share with you special numbers you can call. Even if you had rumors that so-and-so was doing it, kindly share with us and be able to deal with our staff. So at the end of the show, I'll be able to share the numbers that you should call in case you have any suspicion of a neighbor stealing water. In most cases, we even provided incentives to those who are reporting. That when you report, we're able to incentivize you. And there are people who have made this as a business, you understand, because the incentives are quite lucrative. So you can easily earn some good money if you help us identify people who are stealing and you help us deal with this problem, because it's a cost to all of us.
Now, you can make money. We know these people. This element of saying, it's not my concern. When they come, they will arrest him as long as I'm paying for my water. Well, at the end of the day, it also affects you. But also, we need to fight this. Be a very good law-abiding citizen. Now, one talks about payment. Says, please tell engineer also to speak about payments of water.
Yes, payments are very, very important to all of us. Like I mentioned, National is only able to survive, is only able to serve you if we have the resources and the means to do that. I want to appreciate and thank a number of our customers who have been very responsive as far as making their payments.
But I think, engineer, the context of this question is maybe the payment methods or the different channels. Yes,
I'm coming to that. So their customers have been very responsive when it comes to payment. We've tried to create convenience to our customers, and that touches a bit in the way you receive your bill. Previously, we had our bills being delivered manually.
Yes.
Now you're able to get it anytime, instantly on your phone. It means that you're able to when you get it today, you're able to pay, because some people pay after receiving their bill. So try to make sure that your bill is sent to you within the shortest time possible. We also try to create convenience and different platforms through which our customers are able to pay. Right now, I think we're the first entity in the country that went cashless. And again, this is very important for our customers. We don't receive money as staff of National. Please don't pay any staff your money. Whichever payment you're making for, you have to pay it either through the bank or through the mobile money platform. So we have all the mobile money platforms available for our customers to make payment. We're working with them. We're working a lot with the mobile money companies to see how we can create incentives, how we can create easy and convenience for most of our customers to pay their bills. And we want to appreciate the work they've done to make our life easy. Also, we're enhancing our relationship with the banks to, again, create more convenience. We have another product we're trying to improve. That is the direct debit product. I know there are a number of people who are very busy. They might not be able always to remember payments. So we're trying to enhance and improve our direct debit option, and we're working together with the banks, whereby if you're able to sign for direct debit as an option, then every month, once we bill you, automatically money is picked from your account. And that is, again, very convenient for some people, because you don't want to be reminded all the time to pay. And there are people who want that level of convenience. But again, create a system whereby every month we're able to reconcile with you what we billed you and how much you paid. So as a corporation, I think that's one area we're trying to put a lot of emphasis to how do we create convenience for our customers and provide as many platforms for payment as possible.
Okay. Well, I'll also please kindly send a message. Type a text or WhatsApp. Don't send me a voice note. Someone has sent me a meter here. and a voice note. I cannot be able to listen to the voice note. My brother, but I have, how much do I have to pay for 80K plus, all because I am being disturbed? Well, I didn't get this. Don't know if engineer, because I see a meter here. There's this meter, then someone, how much do I have to pay? 80K plus, all because I am being in disturbed. I like very much to.
It's very hard to
Yeah, I
understand.
think it's very hard to understand, my dear brother, and you didn't even give me a name. Otherwise, it is my responsibility to ensure that every message that comes in, surely it is attended to, as long as we can get it clearly. Now, also, very important. Okay, another one talks about first means of paying. I think that is what we've just been addressing. Well, engineer, let me just have your parting shot in the interest of time.
Parting shots, I want to first share the numbers that I want the public to call in case they have any challenge, or if they have any cases of people stealing water. One number is 0752 916 541. 0752 916 541. The other one is 075 111 7120. Then also cases of where reporting leaks and bursts, or you have any other complaints, you could also utilize our toll-free lines. One is 0800 200 977. So that is 0800 200 977, or you started calling, or 0800 300 977. So you can call those numbers and be able to respond to your complaint, any concern that might have. Parting shots. One, I want to thank our dear customers and all the viewers for the support they've continued to give the corporation. I want to apologize some of our customers who have been inconvenienced, especially during this period where we might not be able to serve you as we wish, especially areas in Wakiso, Nansana, especially those places that are experiencing water supply intermittency challenges. I want to assure and commit to our customers that as a corporation, we're doing a number of things that will support, which are supposed to provide immediate solutions to some of these challenges, but also we have plans that are supposed to give us a long-term solutions to all these issues. That's the assurance we want to give our customers, and also request our dear customers, like we mentioned, kindly pay your bills. We are making efforts to make sure they come to you as soon as possible. We've created platforms where it should be convenient for you to pay your bills. Kindly pay your bills so that we're able to serve you better. Let's work together to fight those that are stealing water. So it's a cost to all of us, and we can deal with it if we work as a team. We want to thank you for the support and promise as a corporation will always be there to serve you better.
Well, thank you so much, Engineer Mahmoud Lutaya, General Manager, Kampala Water. We've been focusing on water supply amidst the heat wave. And of course, there is a ray of hope. So much is being done by National Water and Sewerage Corporation. There's so much upgrading of these facilities. And the good news is we have enough water. The challenges could be how it gets to you. But at least the good news is there is no scarcity that we don't have enough. We have the water, and of course there just may be challenges to getting it to you, of which the engineers assured us that these works are ongoing, but they are also having plans of ensuring that you're not so much disturbed, like rationalizing that maybe you get it during the day. So those complaining of we get water only during the day or we get only during the night, once the works are done, then all will be well. Have a lovely day. Pay your bills on time so that they continue giving us service to you. Good morning. See you tomorrow.
From Faces Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra. This weekend on UBC.
What's up, beautiful people? We are here at Center High School, Nama campus, and guess what? We are having a lot of vibes. If you are not watching Teens Town, you do not know where you are because it's going down right here, right now.
We have found our way. It's a brand new day. We'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far.